Hi and welcome to this week's strength training for runners. This week's class is going to be looking predominantly at knees. It's a good, nice foundation class for anybody who has knee pain. The first thing we need to think about before we start the class is it's not going to be about knees this class, it's going to be about hips and feet and stability around the knee, how we get the muscle supporting the knee and how we get movement, why it's important that we get movement from the pelvis and the ankle and foot, and how that impacts knees and why knees can be uncomfortable and awkward if we don't have mobility in those joints. So why stiff feet, stiff hips can cause knee pain. So for today's class, what we're going to need is a block, a seat, a mat and a wall. Very, very simple. First exercise, we're going to come down onto a bench. I'm going to stick the heels in front and put the block between the knees. Now, I'm holding the block nice and closely, like not gripping it, but just basically the block is going to hold my thigh bones in place. And all I'm going to do is turn my feet out and then turn my feet in. Okay, and I'm going to do a few reps just here. Now, the aim of this exercise is to get our shin bone moving. Okay, so the shin bone is the space between the knee and the ankle. And sometimes these can get very, very stuck and stiff. So we really want to find some nice mobility in this motion. Okay, so we're just going to do some nice gentle reps just here, just before we start anything further, just to see if we can actually get some movement in our shin bones. So nice and relaxed, you'll start to feel the front of the foot, the front of the shins working. Okay, possibly some stuff happening in your ankles. But I just want you to really find this movement happening. Can you isolate this movement between the two feet? Can you come together, move them in the same direction? And you can see what's happening at my shin bone here as my feet move from side to side, the thigh bone stays and the shin bone moves. Okay, for some people, you won't get much out of this. Okay, and what do we respond with that? Just keep doing the reps and practicing. So we'll just do a couple more here before my muscles in my lower leg burn too much. We'll just do there, 3 and 2 and 1. Okay, have a little walk around on those. Just a stopwatch. Okay, so we're done with the bench. I'm just going to push that out of the way. Okay, next thing we want to think about is these pronation drills. Now, pronation drills and unlocking our foot is a really, really important part of any kind of knee rehab. So coming into our staggered stance, so 1 foot forward, 1 foot back, we can have quite a nice space between the two. And all we're going to do is we're going to start off and try and find the outside heel of our front foot. Hands by the side, shoulders nice and relaxed. We're going to let that knee bend, and then we're going to pause when the shin becomes vertical. Then we're going to come back again, nice and relaxed. My foot's relaxed, everything's relaxed, and I come forward for 2. As that knee comes forward, I can feel this sort of like release in my foot, and it's really nice and relaxed. So often what I'll see with pronation drills is people trying to sort of force them through. There's supposed to be a really nice movement. This initial movement should be of the knee coming forward, okay? Allowing the knee to bend, and then we come forward from here. So we let the knee bend, and we come back. Now, I'm going to do a couple more just here. I'm just going to do them front on so you can see. As the knee bends, so I come into the outside heel, knees like straightened, slowly, 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 that knee comes forward, and it's sort of heading towards my big toe, second toe. Okay, it's not dropping in and it's not coming out. It's literally just coming forward and back. Okay, we're going to take this into a full drill now. So we come back, the knee comes forward, and now it's going to pull us forward with it all the way over the top of that foot. Now I've got big pressure across my whole of my foot as I come into that end range. I can feel my heel, I can feel my forefoot, I can feel the space in between. So everything pushing down. Now the next cue is to imagine you have something underneath the arch of your foot, and you can actually put something underneath the arch of your foot, like a sock or a band. And this will just help you feel the arch of your foot trying to lengthen. So coming back from here, knee softens, we come forward, come into this end range here where we're really heavy over that front foot, and I can feel the band underneath of my arch of my foot, like the push from the back of my foot into that band. Then I'm going to push back out again. Knee comes forward. Can your knee actually bend, or are you sort of pushing forward with the weight without bending it? I want you to feel the knee bend, stay nice and relaxed, get over the top of the foot, and then I want you to push down. Find that pronation. Okay, last one here. So, quick cue we can try. Try lifting your leg really hard in this end position. Grip that quad hard, okay? Lift it really hard, and then I want you to release it. Then I want you to lift it really, really hard, and then I want you to release it. Then I want you to lift it really, really hard, and then I want you to release it. Okay? Now in this position, my leg is wobbly, okay? And then we come into those drills from here with that nice relaxed quad. We feel it, like you'll start to feel it engaged, not consciously, just as the movement happens. And then we're going to come back. And then we're just going to do one more rep just here. Knee comes forward. Find that push down into that sock. Now here I can actually feel quite a lot happening in my calf as well. Okay? I can feel like my Achilles lengthening and stretching. Okay, have a little walk around on that foot. And then we're going to come around onto the other side. So same thing again. Separate the feet nice and wide. And then from here, we're just going to do those half reps. So find the outside heel. Let the knee come forward. Come back out again. Half rep again. All the way forward. And if you found that helpful with the quad lifting and relaxing, just give that a go at the start of these. You know, it's for me, I just think you just want to find your way of making these things feel good. So we're just going to do a couple more here. My leg is really relaxed. I'm letting gravity sort of pull it forward. I just make sure I start on the outside heel with that long leg. Often people sort of start here and then they haven't got anywhere to go. So start nice and back and then let that knee come forward. Really relaxed around the foot and ankle. And last one here. Okay, next one, we're going to come forward all the way. Now, if you want to do the thing under your foot, you can do that just here. Okay, and then we're going to come forward. And I just imagine like my whole foot being as long as it possibly can, as wide as it possibly can in this position. And also just becoming aware of this like lovely stretch across the whole foot and up the back of my heel, basically into my Achilles. Quite nice for an Achilles, this drill, because we're keeping the heel heavy and but at the same time stretching it. So we're getting like nice force and load through that Achilles. But you have to keep the heel heavy on that one. Down we come. And then we're just going to do 3 more on this side. And sometimes when we do one side than the other, I just question, does it feel the same on both sides? Can I relax the same way on both sides? Can I get as far as on both sides? Sometimes I'll do a few extra reps on a more sticky side. And so we'll just do 2 more here. And then last one here. Nice and up. If our hands are on your hips, just relax those down. Let them go nice and soft and saggy by your side. And then last one here. Okay, so we've done feet and we've done shins. Next up, we're going to have a little look at one more exercise, which is starting to engage our hips. So for this, you're just going to need a mat. Okay, and we're going to start off by turning the feet in. Okay, so I'll show you what that looks like from here. So the feet turn in this position. You're going to walk the hands slightly further forward, so you've got like opening at the shoulder but not at the hips. And then all we're going to do is rock back, keeping the sitting bones high, rock back into our heels. Okay, and then we're going to come forward again, and we're going to rock back into our heels. Now what we're actually doing here is we're also, the shins are sort of having to turn inwards as we come back. So similar to when we had that block between our knees and we were trying to get the shins to turn in, but this time the foot pace is on the floor. So we're just going to do a few reps just here. Really find length through the spine and keep those sitting bones being the first thing heading towards the wall. And we'll just do a few more reps just here. And then last one here. Then we're going to bring one leg in, reach one leg back. Okay, and do the same thing, sitting back into it. So you can turn the toe under, and then we're just going to sit back into it. So really rocking back into that leg, and then coming back, and just into there. Stay nice and long in the spine. You can come down onto the forearms. We just want to really make sure that we're getting that nice turning at the knee. If that feels too tough on your knee, obviously don't come in quite so far, so low. So meet yourself where you are. Just a couple more there. 3. And 2. I get quite a nice glute stretch in this as well. And 1. Right, okay, next up we're going to come into a side lying, okay, and for this I'm going to use this wall over here. Mind you, this wall's a bit short really for this, but it's fine for demonstrating with. Okay, so we're going to start off on our sides and have a little look at a nice scissor action, okay, so just coming down onto the floor. Now this should be really nice and relaxing, this shouldn't be hard and intense. And all we're going to be doing is keeping our spine nice and long. And we're just going to see if we can run our knee up and down our lower leg in a really, really, really nice, relaxed way. Okay, almost like melting as we come through and then drawing back. Now, as we come back, we want to make sure as we come forward, the hip on that top leg is leaning forward, the knee's coming forward, and we're just staying really nice and relaxed. And then as we come back, I want to make sure you're not finding that movement by shoving it into your spine. So stay long in the back and make sure you're drawing the leg bone back into the hip. So as I come back here, I feel lower groin, my right hand groin. I can actually push that knee in a little harder and get a little bit more. And then it reaches forward. And then I feel that the groin on the underside leg. Okay, so I get top groin and as I pull back. And then I get lower groin as I come forward. And my pelvis is moving, yes. But so is this, I'm keeping this nice tension between my two legs as I draw back and forth. But in a really nice, flowy movement. Just a couple more here. And then last one here. The better the hips are greased, the less we're going to put demand through the knee. So coming round onto the other side, into that same position. And then from here, we're just going to do that same scissor movement. So reach the knee forward, squeeze it as it comes back. And then we're going to come forward. Feel that length, feel everything like reaching away and then drawing back again. Really, I love this movement. It feels so nice. And coming back and then going forward. Now just double check that you're keeping both feet flat against the wall and this movement isn't coming from lifting the heel off the wall. Stay really nice with both, keep both feet really nicely pressed into the wall and forcing this movement to happen at the pelvis and the hips. Okay, last one's just here. And then last one there. Okay, next you're going to need your block for this next one. We're going to have a little look at a glute max, making our glute max join the party. So the glute max is a great big muscle on the, it's like imagine where the pocket of your jeans would be. This muscle manages a lot of the push forward of our pelvis, and also it's got quite a lot of, it helps a lot with the sort of movement of the leg and control of leg bone within the pelvis. So really, really important muscle to train. So coming into this, we're going to come back into this 90-90. Now I'm putting a brick underneath my lower leg here. Okay, not that comfortable. You could probably use something different, like a, I don't know, roller or towels or something. Okay, and all I'm going to do is drive just as we did with that scissor slide, drive that top leg forward, keeping the foot against the wall, and then lift that knee up. Now the temptation is to try and flare the ribs and push the leg up, okay? I want you to reach the knee forward, feel the foot pressing into the wall, and then lift that leg up. So trying to create as much height as you can with this leg. Now the pelvis is shifting forward, the knee is going to be lifting, foot is pushing hard into that wall, and then we're going to hold it just here, okay? And feel that glute firing up. My bottom foot is in the wall, though it doesn't look it because I've got this annoying kickboard. So in from here and then up. Now you can give the pelvis a tiny little bit of a tuck here if you need some, but we should really feel this glute starting to fire on the top leg, okay? And we're going to come around and come onto the other side. So hold it for about 10 breaths, then coming round onto the other side. And we'll do the same thing here. So knee comes forward, push the foot into the wall, and then lift that knee up. The knee has to go forward and then up for the glute to kick in. Okay, and we're just going to hold it here. And just keep holding until it starts to burn, and then we just want to hold it a little bit longer. And keep coming up. Whole foot pressing into the wall for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. One of those sides, often on my right side, I struggle to feel the exercise, but it's a case of playing with it and exploring it. Sometimes you need to come a little bit lower and further forward and make sure you've got the movement before you start counting. Okay, so you have to just find the muscles there. Okay, we're going to do another set of those. So feet against the wall, coming into these scissor slides here. It's just nice and smooth and relaxed. Make sure the pelvis is taking all this and we're not using our back. And then the foot is pressing into the wall. We've already worked on this like dorsiflexion of that ankle. So as we come into this, we should be able to, as we scissor slide forward, keep the whole foot against the wall as we come in and out. And just see if you can squeeze a little bit more between the knees to really get that like groin firing at the top. And last two here. And last one here. And onto the other side. In fact, you know, let's stay this side and do the glute max while we're here. Okay, so feet in front. You can put the block underneath that lower foot. Okay, so we're basically coming to the end of that like scissor motion we've just done. And then all we're going to do is reach forward and then lift. Okay, keep that foot pressed into the wall. And then keep lifting from there. You can almost imagine drawing that underleg in and reaching the other leg forward. Stay nice and long in the spine. I'm just going to hold here for another 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and rest there. Coming round into scissor slides on the other side. We're going to do the same thing again. So just a few nice reps just here. Really drawing the pelvis, like working through the pelvis, not the spine. Really reaching that top knee forward. Feel that top groin working. 3 and 2 and 1. Okay, then stick the block underneath that bottom foot. Reach the knee forward. And then we're going to lift from there. Whew, this side feels much harder. So I need to work on the right hand side, I should imagine. And keep coming up. Keep lifting and holding. And we're just going to do another 10. Imagine you try and switch the quad off. Draw that bottom leg underneath. And we're going to do 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Whew. Glute's on fire. Okay, so that's we've done feet, we've done ankles, we've done shins, and now we've done hips. Okay, now we need to think about strengthening. Okay, so we have mobility, and now we want to think about some little drills to do that we can start building strength and stability around our knee. So, main muscle groups we need: quadriceps, hamstrings, calves, and we've actually already worked these front muscles at the front of the calf. So we're going to start off with a wall sit. Now, depending on how your knee feels, you need to be very careful with how you do your wall sits, okay? We want to respect our pain, but gradually start working into it. So, working like nipping it. So we want to think about it. Today I could go here, but over time, just keep on like nudging that pain. So we're going to come into a wall sit, okay? I don't mind how far you come down into this wall sit. I'll keep the feet slightly further forward, but we're going to come down, and I want you to find a place that's hard but comfortable on your knee. Okay, I always think about foot pressures here. Can I feel both? Is my weight in both my feet? Okay, and I'm just going to sit from here, and I'm just going to hold. Okay, so we're going to hold for, let's do another 15 seconds. Okay, so just sitting here, nice and relaxed, nice and taking our breath, and we should be starting to feel our quadriceps, the front of our thighs, start to burn. Okay, and we'll just do another 5 seconds. 5, 4, and don't come out of it. 3, 2, 1. Now we're going to do a 10-second really hard push through the floor with the feet. Push, 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 push. Hard as you can. Fire up the quads for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Don't come out of it at the end of this. 3, 2, 1, and relax. Okay, take a couple of breaths here. We're going to do 3 reps of those. Here we go. Big, big push. Push, 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 push. For 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Okay, one more set of those. Sit tight, sit tight, sit tight. Rest, rest, rest. And off we go for 10, 9, 8, 7. Stay nice and relaxed. 5, 4, push, 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 push. 3, 2, 1. And then we're going to come out of that wall sit. Okay, give your legs a shake off. Next, we're going to be looking at hamstrings. Okay, now one of the things that runners struggle with when they're running is if they aren't able to create stiffness around their leg, what they're going to do is they're going to sink and then push. Now that's a lot of force for a knee to go through a knee, okay? Knees don't like it. So we want to be able to create stiffness so that our knee is fully supported. It's called a cocontraction. All around, like all the muscles around the knee, we lock that knee in place, and then as we load it, it stays really nice and stiff. Okay, and this should be happening when we're doing our pogos, when we're doing any movements. But if you haven't done co-contractions before, they can feel quite difficult. So this is a sort of light phase co-contraction we're going to start off with. So onto the back. And we're going to come into a bridge, okay? So lying on our back just here. Now you can see how in this position I'm replicating that same position I just demonstrated when I stood in that stance and showed you this stiffness in this leg. Okay, so here, this is my running leg just here. Okay, from here, all I'm going to do is lift the heel and lower the heel. Okay, lift the heel, lower the heel. As I lower into that heel, I'm reaching away with the heel. And we're just going to do another few reps just here. We're going to go to 10 and 3 and 4. Just imagine there's a tiny little cross behind your heel and you're trying to keep your foot as long as you possibly can. And 2, and don't come out of this, and 1. Now what we're going to do is lower the glutes down, push through the wall and come back up for 1, 2. You can almost push in and pull down, 3, but I want you to drive your hip forward, 4, 5, we're going to go all the way to 10, 6, and 7, and 8, and 9, and last one here, and 10. Now if that's feeling uncomfortable, okay, on your knee, it's likely that you're trying to, like you're gripping around your knee too much. I want you to try and think about relaxing around your knee and let the muscles do what the muscles need to do. Okay, round onto the other side. We're going to come into this wall stride to start off. So keeping that knee exactly as it is, we're going to do 10 reps here. 2, 3, reaching that heel away. 4, 5, 6, and obviously just meet yourself where you are with this. 7, 8, 9, and then 10, and 10. And then we're going to come into those bridges for 1. See if you can really push that foot into the wall and then pull it, imagine pulling it down. 2, 3, 4, 5, nice and relaxed around the knee if you can. 6, everything coming from that glute. 7, 8, all the way to 10, 9, and last one here, and 10. Okay, last thing we're going to do in this little circuit is a kickstand hinge. So same as we've always done, when it comes to these hinges, we want to think about hands on hips, and we're actually just going to start off with a double footer. So knees forward, nice long spine, and we're just going to slowly push the sitting bones back and pull them up. Push the sitting bones back, squeeze them back up for 2. Push the hips back, 3. Push the hips back, stay long in the spine. 4. Push the hips back. 5. Probably just did 5 twice. 6. Now think about those drills we did earlier with the feet. So as I come back, and 7, I'm keeping all my weight across my feet. And 8, and 9, and last one here, and 10. Okay, back in we come. Going back to the beginning again with the wall sit. Now this time with the wall sit, I want you to come down, but what I want you to think about is, can you step the knee, the foot further back? If last time felt like enough, stick with the last lot, but let's see whether we can come down a little bit further. And we can actually push more weight through the one leg. Okay, whole foot on the floor, other foot can be further forward, everything nice and against the wall, and we're going to push really hard with that foot for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, push hard, 3, 2, 1, don't come up, stay here. We're going to hold here for another 10. In 10, 9, 8, think about your foot, 7, 6, 5, push through the floor, 3, 2, 1. Just one more set here. Relax the leg, take a little break. You can shift it onto the other one. Okay, here we go. Last little push for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and rest. Switching over onto the other side. Same thing again. Can we get the foot a little further behind the knee? Only go where it's comfortable, but let's always see if we can just eke a little bit more out. Here we go, pushing hard through the floor. And we're going to do 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, push, 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 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Quick break in the middle. I want you to think about where your pelvis is as you're getting into those harder points. Are you trying to arch the back off the wall to try and take away something? Okay, big push here for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, push, 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 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then we stay here, nice and relaxed. Just think about relaxing, letting that quad manage this load, okay? And then we're going to go for the last push for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, push, 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 2, 1, and release. Okay, shake the leg off, back into our wall strides, and here we go. Okay, if this felt too much last time, just come into a double foot with it. Double, single, doesn't really matter. I'd probably stick a block between my knees just to make sure that I'm sharing the load. But if you're not coming as a single leg, off we go. Pushing up onto that heel, pelvis slightly turned under, 2, and we're going to slowly reach that heel away as we come down into this. But we don't want the hips too high. We want to be creating that motion that we've seen, I demonstrated before we came into the sets. 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, foot against the wall. Drive that hip forward for 1, 2, 3, all the way to 10, 4. If you're doing a double leg, you can go between 15 and 20, and 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, last one here, big, big squeeze, and 10. Round onto the other side, little pelvic, tuck the pelvis under, up we come into these heel taps, 1 and 2. So make sure you're coming through the big toe on these, 3, 4, reaching away with that heel, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, coming into those little bridges. Push through the glutes, the whole foot on the wall, and 2, and 3. Make sure you're not gripping around the knee. Really, really classic of this movement. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and last one here, and 10. Okay, last reps on the hinges. Okay, so coming down, we'll start with left. Now we did 2 foot last time, we're going to come into 1 foot this time. Knee forward, whole foot on the floor, push the hips back. Okay, make sure the pelvis is straight, getting into that glute, knee forward, long spine. Can you get any further forward? We're just going to hold it here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, push to stand. Round onto the other side, knee comes forward, hips go back, spine stays long. Here we go. Pushing through the whole foot on the floor, knee forward, sitting bone up, into that glute for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, long spine, 2, 1, and push to stand. Okay, we're just going to finish with some of those little, just in a seated position, into those nice little, okay, here we go. So feet slightly forward, okay, heel into the heels, and then we're going to turn the feet out, turn the feet in. What's so interesting is, can you see how my leg bones stay where they are as my shin boot bones are rotating through my round in my knees. And what's lovely is I feel a lot of stuff happening down in my right foot. 6, 7, 8, 9, and last one here, and 10. Beautiful. Anyway, see how that feels. I would do that a couple of times through, see how the knees feels. It's a nice, like, challenging workout, but nothing too strenuous. Let me know if anything feels uncomfortable on your knee and I can give you some tips. But I hope you enjoyed that.